What's going on, everybody? Colby Logan here at Pickler Universe, day 4 of MLP 2025. I am sitting next to my friend Rachel here with Lynn with RnR IV Bar, and we're going to talk, I don't know, a little bit about IV, mobile IV, the whole concept of going in. You're not sick. You're just going to get an IV drip of some of the cocktail,
some
of the
hydration.
goods, some hydration. Now,
vitamins.
I can't think. I'm trying to think of what year the IV bar started popping up on the scene, but I'm sure you've got the whole history that you can share with us. But I do know that you were here for the world record attempt with the Pickle Breakers,
Yes.
helping with some IV and all that. And I have to tell you this: I have never gone into an IV bar.
No, you don't have to go into an IV bar.
You just come to us.
I come to you.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's mobile, so you don't even have to do that.
It's genius. Well, I want you to tell us about it and tell me what I'm missing.
All the things: hydration, energy. So the when I was here before for the Guinness Book of World Records, you know, they were here for hours and hours and playing. So it was about giving them some energy back. So, and natural energy. So B12 shots is what we were giving. And that just helped kind of boost them and give them a little extra oomph to keep going.
And, I mean, again, this is total naivete. Like, I literally never had one. I mean, I've had one, you know, for going under surgery and all that, but you don't think about. I mean, literally, how do you feel? Is it such a noticeable difference?
Instant, yes.
I guess it depends on how bad you are when you go in.
Exactly. How dehydrated, how negative is what I like to call it that you are, and then how much we need to get you back up to baseline. So actually, the more negative that you are, probably the more instant you're going to see those results, right? Usually within half the bag going in, you're going to get, and this is for IV fluids, right? We have different things. There's IM vitamin shots, right, where you just, in your deltoid, you get a quick little, takes 30 seconds, you get a shot. Then you have an IV, right, where you're hooked up, it's going into your vein, you're getting fluids, you're getting 1,000 milliliters of fluids, and then I add vitamins into that bag depending on what you need. So I have up to 13 to 15 different cocktails that are all geared towards what that individual needs. So we're talking dizziness, stomach issues. I do a lot of GI, nausea, vomiting.
Okay.
So.
Oh, well, of course.
Right, you're throwing up, you can't stop.
Right.
And the reason you have symptoms, it's not from the nausea, vomiting. It's from the dehydration caused by the nausea, vomiting.
So when I'm extremely hungover, I should come see you?
Exactly. Those are the ones that feel it instantly. They go literally half the bag, and their color changes. They're back to life. Their eyes open up. There's definitely a.
It is kind of profound that we didn't really see this service until when did it really become a normalized thing?
Probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
So recent.
Yeah. So the thing is, before I got into this business, I was actually an ER nurse at Parkland for 6 years.
This makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So I watched before COVID, during COVID, after, all through COVID, the effects of dehydration on our system and literally just what a bag of vitamins can do for people. And so just my eyes were opened really during the whole process of COVID and the medical system. I feel like they're kind of holding out on us.
No doubt about it. I mean, no, it's a tricky, it's a crazy world out there.
It is. It's really difficult. I probably go a little against the grain.
Sure.
I'm a little more in my holistic approach. I think we can heal our bodies from the inside.
So for someone like myself, and I know if anybody is this far into the interview and is actually on this channel watching this,
I'm listening this long.
They're probably very similar to me. You play anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 days a week pickleball. And you probably play for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And
sweating.
Yeah, for sure. Indoors, outdoors, and I mean, doing pretty good, doing all right, and we're drinking fluids. There's a little Gatorade here and there, but I mean, should someone like myself just should I be considering it like as a sort of weekly maintenance kind of thing? And if I did, are we talking once a week? And
yeah, timing.
I don't mean to sound like naive, but I mean like it would certainly, if I saw good effects from it, it would be an easy spend.
Yeah.
You know, because hydration is super important.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you ever feel like your energy is just not there, or your focus? Do you ever feel like you're playing pickleball and you can't really see the ball?
Sure. I mean, it's
you have your moment. I mean, or on that 5th day that you're playing that week, is your focus and attention to detail as good as it was on Monday?
I think the honest answer is it's tricky to know, because perhaps I'm sitting at a baseline now that I think is normal.
Yes.
And I mean, I know for a fact that I don't drink enough fluids.
60 to 70% of Americans are dehydrated.
Okay. So I'm quite certain I fall into that.
Yes. So
now there's been times in my life where I've been very intentional, and I know that I'm definitely hydrated and I've been intentional about it. But those periods kind of come and go.
Yes.
You know, I wonder what I'm missing out on from so many things, like just quality sleep to like you said, just general focus. You know, after a long pickleball session, to the day is long.
Yeah.
And I got lots of stuff to do.
So a lot of times, even just like inflammation, so pain, pain and inflammation are kind of synonymous. Synonymous. What word am I trying to say here?
Synonymous.
Yeah. Wherein that they're very much linked. The confusing part is, so people think inflammation, you have too much fluid. Right, so why would I hydrate? Why would I add fluid? Right, that's what inflammation is. Inflammation is toxins and fluid built up in certain areas. Usually it's a joint space, right? Your wrist is hurting, your elbow, your back, your shoulder. Something's hurting because of inflammation. That
so
inflammation.
We put ice on it.
So we put ice, right? That's one thing you can do.
Slows the circulation down.
Rest, ice, elevation, compression, rice, right? That's our normal, that's our low maintenance for correcting inflammation, right? Well, this takes it a step further. This is a systemic approach to decreasing inflammation. Why and how does that work? I want to explain it to you. So what we're giving you is sodium chloride, is the saline bag that goes into your vein. That's salt water. Sodium chloride, right, is basically salt water. So here's another thing you have to remember. Salt sucks water. So if we're putting salt water into your veins, it's going to help to pull the fluid out of the spaces it's not supposed to be in, like your joints and your interstitial spaces, your abdominal area. There's lots of spaces that we don't want the fluid in. There's spaces we do want the fluid in. We want the fluid in our vessels, in our cardiovascular system. We want that fluid pumping and hydrating us and moving things around. So the IV fluids, although people say, oh, I drink all the time, I drink enough water. Yeah, okay, maybe you do, but there's GI issues, there's interference that happens, and you're going to get some of that water, yes, but it's not the same level as an IV, because just the different systemic things that come from an IV, the end benefits, I guess. There's just way more benefits to the IV fluid because it can pull the fluid out of the space.
Are there? And I mean to cut you off there.
I give you a lot of information. I know.
Are there any? Is there anything to be careful of when you're considering IV?
Oh, for sure, yes. And I have so a medical history, right? So like if we're talking about like a cardiac history, cardiac patients, cardiac people, they often deal with fluid overload because their body is not circulating and getting rid of the fluid properly. So in that case, I have all the proper forms, and we do medical history intake, and we evaluate and make sure that that person meets the criteria and standard for fluid. We're not going to just give fluid to somebody that doesn't need it or isn't allowed to receive it or wouldn't be safe for them. So there's definitely checks and things put in place to make sure that it's appropriate for each person.
And so no, for the average person, the average athlete, there's no real negative
No,
side effects
definitely
or
not.
consequences
Definitely
from
not.
being properly hydrated.
No, only benefits.
Only benefits.
Only benefits. There's, I mean, the cost, right? But what
Well,
the
yeah,
cost of health.
talk on that.
Yeah,
Speak
I mean,
on that.
So,
What does a typical session cost, depending on what you're asking for and whatnot?
Yeah, depending on if it's
what's
event
a price range
or,
someone can expect?
So I would say $200 to $350
Okay.
is about the price for an IV. And again, it's how much vitamins we're putting in it, how much benefit you want to get out of it, where you are and what you need, you know.
And that's for someone walking into a facility.
Or me coming to them mobile.
Are you coming to them mobile?
Yeah, mobile service. So
Okay.
I come to them. I go to houses. I go to work events. I go to offices. I go to clinics. I go to a yoga studio. I go to a sauna studio. I come to pickleball events.
Okay.
Wherever, just
Gotcha.
it's literally just book and tell me where you want me to meet you.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's really, it's what I like to call is biohacking your system, right? You're giving your body what it needs at the cellular level.
And here's a question. What are the sort of sustained sort of time period that you can expect a single session to sort of...
How long does the session last, or how long do the benefits last you?
Speak on both of those.
So the session, depending on, we're going to talk about like a gauge of an IV. So depending on the needle, the size of the needle that I can put in is going to be determined by the size of your veins. So, you know, you can see my veins, right? They're different sizes. So everybody's got different size veins. So whatever's appropriate needle for your vein. If it's a smaller one, it's going to take a little bit longer. If it's a big vein, it's going to go in a lot faster. That's one thing that causes the difference in time. The second thing is your dehydration status, how dehydrated you are. I've had bags go in as quickly as 25, 30 minutes.
Okay.
They're extremely dehydrated.
So half an hour is quick.
Yes, half an hour is quick. Typically, they take 50 to 60 minutes.
Okay.
So about an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they can take about an hour and a half if I have those smallest vein, the smallest IV catheter. It's going to take a little bit longer.
And the average person, you would maybe not want to consider this more than once a week? Or?
So that also depends where we're coming from and what we're trying to address, right? So if you're dealing with a problem that we need to fix,
Injury,
post-op, right? Surgery, recovery.
Just super sick.
Elderly tend to struggle with dehydration.
Super hungover.
Well, hungovers typically get fixed with one IV. I mean, that's.
Get out of here, kid.
You're like,
here, kid.
okay, we got you to your baseline, and then you're good. You're just gonna drink next weekend. So call me. You know, that's just as is. You know, that's as your stupidity. You call on me.
I get it.
But the others. So something that I do differently than a traditional mobile IV place or any IV place that you walk into is I educate my clients.
Good.
I'm huge on education, and so I want to teach them how to make their IV last longer.
Okay.
How the benefits can last longer.
I like this
right?
idea.
So
I like this.
I'm not like, hey, I think you need to come in every week. I'm like,
it's kind of a jump start.
Okay.
No, I mean it's kind of it's kind of
I'm here for when you need, when you're struggling, when you're sick, when you've been traveling. I want to teach people that this is something to get you to your baseline, and then here's the things that you need to do to keep yourself above baseline.
Gotcha.
And then if something happens, then you call on me and we'll get you back to baseline again.
So it's almost like if someone is on this sort of hydration train of like, I know I need to drink more water. It's like, well, come in, invest the time and money into this, into not just the actual service, but the education.
Yes.
Get the reset.
Yep.
Walk out with a newfound
and awareness,
sort of confidence
of where your hydration should be, how you should feel, how you should sleep, how you should wake up feeling more energized.
Right. Knowing that you've set them on a good path.
Yes.
Now you have the ability to maintain yourself there if you it can be intentional about it, but I'm always here if you need to chat.
Yes, and here's the things that's going to help you be intentional. So everything that we do is either going to hurt us or harm us. Hurt us or help us. Everything we do. Everything we put in our mouth. every
there was
TV
a cookie
that we
on
watch,
this table, but I ate that.
And then it's balance. Right, I love to talk to people about there's a spectrum of health, we're either doing all the wrong things or we're doing all the right things, or we're somewhere on that spectrum. My goal is to help and educate people that we want to be on the high end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And as long as you're on that high end where we're balancing and flushing stuff out of your system, then you're not going to end up with chronic illnesses. That's my mission.
Yeah.
My mission is to help people
that.
address their chronic illnesses to prevent them. I want to keep people out of the ER and out of the hospitals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you've given me a lot to think about, because it's not just me, but I'm thinking of other family members of, like, this is something that can only help. And I like the idea of getting it, knowing that you're walking out in sort of the best possible hydrated state, but then the education and going, hey, let's see what this kind of reset can do for you. It's only going to be positive stuff, and it might be profoundly groundbreaking for you. You know, if you've never really existed in that arena where it's like you're well hydrated all the time.
Yes.
I think, like you said, most of us just don't exist there.
Yeah, we just it's just one of those things that
I'm not thirsty.
Accepted.
Why am I drinking water right now? I'm not thirsty.
Yeah. It's not about being thirsty.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of times we are, and we cover it up with food.
That's
or
a good point.
Our hunger is actually thirsty.
Yeah.
It's disguised as hunger. That's why we have an obesity problem.
It is an issue. I'm looking over here. Terry, she and I and CK just got back from China, and they don't have an obesity problem. I mean, I'm telling you, there was not a single. I saw some overweight people for sure. Probably elderly, not moving enough, but like obese, like especially morbidly obese, which we all know kind of what that looks like.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't see it, and there were people everywhere. There's a lot of people who live in that country. So what does that say? And I will say the food we ate for 2 weeks was amazing.
Yeah.
Zero issues.
Yeah.
Like a wide array.
And I bet you were still eating pasta and breads and
no pastas, no breads.
No noodles?
Nope. Oh, noodles. I'm sorry.
Noodles. I should have said noodles.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, there were
the country
noodles.
is I should have said the right word. But you're eating noodles, right?
Formally, I don't remember bread in any meals, but
or like they have like those buns,
Buns, yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's a carb, I guess I was considering, like
and
the
not
bread.
as many as I would have expected, but yes, definitely, yes. Some of the buns, the pot sticker things.
Yeah.
Again, not to the extent that you'd think, it must be all pot stickers.
And did you gain weight, or did you lose weight, or did you stay the same?
I stayed the same, and I felt really good.
Yeah.
It was never like we would eat and eat, and it was a lot of meals, a lot of food. It was a wide variety of food. Lots of, like the lotus flower, the lotus plant. They take that plant to the extreme. You eat everything. You eat the stem. You eat the root.
Awesome.
You eat the flower. So a lot of interesting meals like that. All kinds of meats. Everything. They're crazy on duck over there. So lots of different. So wild game. You know, a lot of very nutrient-rich proteins.
Probably a lot of vegetables as well.
Ton of vegetables. Yeah.
So where we fall short is that our food industry in the U.S. is.
Of course, everything over there was cooked scratch. I mean, it was made fresh right there from the ingredients they had.
Even if it's street food, right? Or even if it's fast food, it's still fresh.
Yeah, it was correct.
Yes.
And that's the other profound thing about it. It's just, and it's not the one meal; it's the 20 years of meals.
Yes.
And then suddenly we're just sick.
It's what I talk about, the compounding effect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big thing I educate people on. It's not about that one choice. It's about the daily choices that we make. And everything has to be balanced. Our body is looking for balance. That's all it wants. And if you're not giving it the right things to balance, it pulls from other areas.
Sure.
Right? So it has certain systems that it has to keep maintained with equilibrium. And so things are going to lack, right?
So something's going to suffer.
Something's going to suffer, yeah. And that's why you start to have symptoms, is because you're lacking hydration and nutrients. It's not because you need a pill. This is not a prescription that needs to fix. We need to fix our diet and our nutrition, our hydration, and our movement, our exercise, right? Everything's our body, all it is a filtration system. That's it. What goes in has to come out. And there has to be a continuous cycle. And when there's not that cycle, that's when you get overweight. That's when you get toxins built up. That's when you get inflammation. That's when you get pain. And then that just leads to all kinds of other issues. Yeah.
I mean, what you do is really the future of medicine. The food we eat and
it's such a huge role.
Just the things we put into our body that we have to have, but we have to be intentional about making the right choices.
Including that
How
argument.
Can it be that simple?
Including the argument you had with your wife.
Okay.
That released toxins.
Right.
Those toxins, if you don't flush them out, are going to hold and store in your body just as bad as that Big Mac you ate. So I'm talking intentional. I'm talking holistic. I'm talking everything that comes into our system through our skin, through our eyes, through our ears, through our mouth, like literally everything that gets input into our system.
Well, that's why we play pickleball. Pickleball nourishes us in so many ways. We get the movement, we get the sweating, we get the exercise,
the
but then we get this amazing feel-good chemicals coming through our brain, and because the community around pickleball is awesome. Yeah. And we get to compete and focus on singular task, and then we get to high five and laugh and scream and yell and give each other shit. Yeah. And
to flush out those toxins, but to flush out those toxins, you have to have the hydration. Yeah. So you could do all those things, but if you're dehydrated, it's still not working. Still not going to work in your advantage. Yeah, I know. I get it. I could talk all day about water and the different types of water.
I'm sure you do some days.
I do. I would think hydration is a huge factor, and as soon as we lean into that and focus on our hydration, everything else can change in our system.
I like it. We're hearing all the screams over here. There's a lot of cool stuff going over here on the center court. Thank you for spending time with me, Rachel Lynn, L-I-N-N.
L-Y-N-N.
L-Y-N-N. RnR IV bar.
Yep. Find me on Instagram. That's my website, TikTok, all the things.
And you
love to
mainly
educate.
Focus on mobile service?
Yep. Gotcha. I don't have a building or office or anything. I just go to people.
Well, that makes
whatever
it easy.
They need, wherever I can meet them, and whatever I need, wherever they are on their health journey is where I meet them.
Perfect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for joining us for this educational session with Rachel Lynn. We all knew we needed to work on our hydration, but we needed to hear it from Rachel here. So anyway,
Nurse Rachel.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We'll see y'all soon.